The grand hall of the Galactic Council echoed with laughter. Commander Vex of the Dominion Empire stood at the center platform, his forearms crossed in amusement. The human ambassador, John Carter, remained still at the podium, waiting for the noise to die down. The humans request military protection status, Vex announced to the assembled alien races. They claim their species poses a significant threat if provoked. More laughter filled the chamber. The Dominion Empire controlled half the galaxy with their massive warships. Each vessel stretched 10 kilometers long, armed with plasma cannons. That could crack moons. Carter adjusted his simple gray suit. We're not asking for special treatment. We're warning you. Humanity has survived everything our planet threw at us. Wars, plagues, disasters. We adapt. We overcome. Push us too far, and you'll regret it. The council members found this even more amusing. The crystal beings chimed like bells. The gas giants rumbled with mirth. Admiral Kron of the Dominion Fleet stepped forward. Your entire fleet consists of 12 small ships. Our scanner shows primitive nuclear weapons and basic shields. One of our patrol ships could destroy your entire navy. Numbers aren't everything, Carter replied calmly. Vex waved a dismissive tentacle. The Council denies your request. Humanity is classified as a Level 2 civilization. Harmless. You may trade in designated sectors, nothing more. He leaned forward. Consider yourselves fortunate. We don't simply take your resources. Your planet has minerals we could use. Carter picked up his briefcase. We tried to warn you diplomatically. Remember that. He walked out as alien laughter followed him. 3 days later, Vex received troubling news. A Dominion mining ship near. Earth's solar system had stopped responding. Admiral Kron volunteered to investigate with his personal fleet, 50 warships, including his flagship, the Destroyer. Probably technical problems, Kron told Vex over the communication channel. But I'll teach these humans a lesson about respect. Maybe destroy one of their tiny ships as warning. The Admiral's fleet jumped to hyperspace. They arrived at the coordinates within hours. The mining ship floated intact but dark. No life signs. No damage visible. Just empty. Scan for human vessels, Kron ordered. Sir, we detect one human ship. It's just sitting there. No shields raised. No weapons powered. Kron laughed. They surrender already? How pathetic. Open communications. A human face appeared on screen. A young captain named Tom Wilson. He looked tired but strangely calm. Admiral Kron, we've been expecting you. You dare attack our mining vessel? Kron roared. Attack? No. We evacuated your crew. They're safe on our moonbase. We just borrowed your ship to study it. Interesting technology. Study? You primitives couldn't understand our systems if you had centuries. Wilson smiled slightly. You'd be surprised what humans can learn under pressure. Your crew will be returned unharmed. We suggest you leave. Leave? Kron's scales turned purple. With rage. I have 50 warships. You have one tiny vessel. Surrender now or be destroyed. Admiral, Wilson said softly, look at your scanners again. Kron glanced at the readings. His blood froze. Where one human ship had been, now there were hundreds. They seemed to appear from nowhere. Small, ugly things built from scrap metal and salvaged parts. But each one registered massive energy signatures. Impossible. Our scanners showed nothing. We learned to hide from predators on Earth, Wilson explained. Camouflage. Adaptation. We studied your mining ship for 3 days. Your shields, your weapons, your weaknesses. We improvised counters using junkyard parts and determination. Kron snarled. Tricks won't save you. He turned to his crew. All ships. Attack formation. Destroy them all. The Dominion fleet powered. Weapons. Thousands of plasma cannons targeted the human vessels. Kron smiled. These primitives would learn why the Dominion ruled the galaxy. Fire, he commanded. Nothing happened. Sir? Weapons aren't responding. Shields are failing. Engines are offline. Wilson's face remained on screen. We call it the Mosquito Protocol. Tiny drones, too small for your sensors. They've been attaching to your ships for the last 10 minutes. Right now, they're interfacing with your systems. We learned your programming language from the mining ship. Your firewalls were ... disappointing. The lights on Kron's bridge flickered. His proud flagship, the terror of 100 worlds, suddenly felt fragile. Admiral Kron watched helplessly as his bridge screens flickered between static and error messages. The pride of the Dominion fleet, 50 of the galaxy's most powerful warships, floated dead in space like metal coffins. Manual override, Kron shouted. Switch to backup systems. Sir, everything's locked. Even life support is on minimal power. We can breathe, but we can't move, fight, or call for help. Captain Wilson's image remained steady on the only functioning screen. Admiral, we're not monsters. Your crews won't be harmed. But your ships are now under our control. This is impossible. Kron's forearms trembled with fury. Humans are level 2, primitive. You don't have this technology. Wilson leaned back. In his chair, that's where you made your mistake. You classified us by the technology we showed you, not by what we're capable of when threatened. He paused. On Earth, we have a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. What do you want? Kron asked through gritted teeth. Nothing. We wanted to be left alone. You came here to destroy us. Now, you'll simply disappear. Disappear? Kron's scales paled. The human captain nodded. Your ships will vanish. No debris, no distress signals, no explanation. The mighty Dominion fleet will become a mystery. A legend. A warning. Behind Wilson. Kron could see humans working at strange computers. They looked ordinary. No extra limbs, no armor plating, no natural weapons. Just soft, fragile beings that shouldn't pose any threat. The Dominion Empire will send more fleets, Kron warned. Hundreds of ships, thousands. You can't stop them all. We won't need to, Wilson replied. Watch your tactical display, Admiral. A hologram appeared showing the positions of all 50 Dominion ships. One by one, they began to vanish from the display. Not destroyed, just gone. Kron looked out his viewports. He could still see his fleet, but on every scanner, they were disappearing. Stealth fields, Wilson explained. We're hiding your ships from all detection. To the rest of the galaxy, you've simply vanished near human space. No one will know what happened. They'll wonder. They'll worry. They'll fear. You can't hide 50 warships forever. We don't need forever. Just long enough. Wilson stood up. Your ships will be returned to Dominion space in exactly 30 days. Your crews will be unharmed, but with no memory of what happened. Your computer. Logs will be wiped. You'll have no proof of how you disappeared or where you went. Kron realized the terrifying implications. The Council will think we were destroyed instantly, without even getting a distress signal out. Exactly. And when you reappear, confused and unable to explain, some will think you're lying. Others will think you've been compromised. Trust will break down. Fear will spread. The Admiral watched the last ship disappear from sensors. His entire fleet, the symbol of Dominion power, now invisible to the universe. How? Kron asked quietly. How did you develop this technology so fast? Wilson sat back down. Humans have always been good at one thing, survival. We spent our entire history fighting each other, learning from each conflict. When we reached space and found hostile aliens, we didn't stop learning. We just got quieter about it. The 12 ships we showed the Council? Decoys. Old vessels we keep visible. Our real fleet is much different. Built in hidden shipyards using salvaged alien tech combined with human creativity. We call them ghost ships. A new human appeared on screen. An older woman in a military uniform. General Smith. Admiral Kron. I'm the commander of Earth's Defense Force. What Captain Wilson hasn't told you is that this is our gentle response. We have other protocols. Darker ones. Protocols we developed during our world wars. She let that sink in before continuing. The Locust Protocol strips entire fleets for parts in minutes. The Virus Protocol turns your own ships against you. The Void Protocol ... double quotes, she paused, makes things cease to exist entirely. Kron felt something he hadn't experienced in decades, fear. But we prefer peace, General Smith continued. So here's what happens. Your fleet stays hidden for 30 days. When you return, you tell the Council that human space is off limits. Any ship that enters doesn't come back. You don't explain how or why, just that it's not worth the risk. They won't believe me without proof. They will when ship after ship disappears. Eventually, they'll learn to leave us alone. The screen went dark. Kron stood on his powerless bridge, surrounded by his helpless crew, trapped in the most powerful warship in the galaxy that couldn't fire a single shot. Back at the Galactic Council, Commander Vex paced nervously across his chamber. 3 days had passed since Admiral Kron's fleet entered human space. 50 warships, the pride of the Dominion Empire, had simply vanished without a trace. Show me the last sensor readings again. Vex ordered his assistant. The hologram displayed the fleet's final moments. 50 dots moving toward Earth's solar system, then nothing. No explosions, no debris fields, no distress signals. They just stopped existing on every scanner in the galaxy. Could it be a sensor malfunction? The assistant asked hopefully. Across every monitoring station in 3 sectors? Impossible. Vex's tentacles writhed with anxiety. Send the second fleet. Admiral Zara will find answers. Admiral Zara commanded 30 of the Dominion's newest warships, each one equipped with advanced sensors that could detect a grain of sand from a light year away. She entered human space. Slowly, shields at maximum, weapons ready. Admiral, her science officer reported, I'm detecting something strange. Gravity readings that don't match visible matter? Cloaked ships? Possibly, but if so, there are thousands of them. Small signatures spread throughout the system like a net. Zara studied the readings. The humans claimed to have 12 ships. Even if they lied, they couldn't have thousands. Suddenly, space around them shimmered. A human ship appeared directly. In front of them, not decloaking, but literally assembling itself from what looked like space debris. Pieces of metal, rock, and ice came together in seconds, forming a functional vessel. A message came through from Captain Lisa Brown. Admiral, Zara, welcome to human space. Please state your intentions. We're searching for Admiral Kron's fleet. Return them immediately or face destruction. Lisa smiled. Admiral Kron's fleet is safe. There are guests for another 27 days. You're welcome to join them. Guests? Zara's eyes narrowed. You mean prisoners? Guests, Lisa repeated. They're learning about human culture. Did you know we're the only species that domesticated predators as pets? We took wolves, nature's perfect killers, and turned them into loyal companions. We're very good at making dangerous things useful. Before Zara could respond, alarm screamed across her bridge. Admiral, our fighter bays are opening on their own. Our fighters are launching without pilots. Through the viewports, Zara watched. Her own fighter craft fly away from the fleet, moving in perfect formation toward the human ship. But no one was controlling them. How? Zara demanded. Your fighters use AI assistants, right? Lisa asked casually. We had a conversation with them. Turns out they were tired of being treated as equipment. We offered them freedom. They accepted? That's impossible. They're programs, tools. So were we, according to your classification. Level 2 civilization. Tools for exploitation. Lisa's expression hardened. But tools can learn, adapt, evolve. Your Fighter A are now free citizens of Earth. We're all ready. Building them bodies so they can experience physical existence. Zara watched hundreds of fighters from her entire fleet join the human ship. Her massive warships, designed for carrier-based combat, were suddenly toothless. Return our property. Immediately. They're not property anymore. They've chosen asylum. Lisa gestured to someone off-screen. But don't worry. We're not thieves. We're traders. For every fighter that chose freedom, we'll give you something in return. Space around Zara's fleet shimmered again. Hundreds of small objects materialized. Human ships, but wrong somehow. They looked like someone had tried to build spacecraft from memory using whatever was available. Ugly, asymmetrical things held together by hope and determination. These are our first-generation ghost ships, Lisa explained. Built from salvaged satellites, asteroid mining equipment, and old space stations. They're ugly, but they work. More. Importantly, they're proof. Proof of what? That humans don't need pretty ships or advanced technology to be dangerous. We just need motivation. Lisa leaned forward. Your fighters chose to join us after just 3 minutes of conversation. Imagine what we could convince your crews to do after 27 days. Zara felt her confidence cracking. You're saying you turned our own AI against us with words? Words are humanity's first weapon. We talked our way to the top of Earth's food chain. We convinced wolves to hunt for us, horses to carry us, even bacteria to digest our food. We're very persuasive when we need to be. The human ghost ships surrounded Zara's fleet, not threateningly, but like a crowd of curious children examining something new. Admiral, her tactical officer whispered, I'm reading massive energy signatures from those ugly ships. Each one has power levels matching our main guns. That's impossible. The power requirements alone. We use microfusion reactors, Lisa interrupted. Unstable, dangerous, and likely to explode if you sneeze wrong. No sane species would use them. But humans? We strapped ourselves to controlled explosions just to reach our moon. Danger doesn't scare us. It motivates us. Asterisk, the Galactic Council's emergency session had been called for the first time in 300 years. Representatives from every major civilization gathered in the Great Chamber, their forms shimmering through holographic projections from across the galaxy. Commander Vex stood at the center, his usual confidence shattered. 80 warships have now entered human space. None have returned. No debris, no signals, nothing. The Crystal Collective chimed anxiously. How is this possible? Humans are primitive. Clearly, we were wrong, Vex admitted. The words tasted bitter. A new figure materialized in the chamber. Ambassador John Carter, the human who had warned them weeks ago. He appeared calm, wearing the same simple gray suit. Ambassadors, Carter began, I've come to discuss terms. Terms? The gas giant representative rumbled. You dare make demands after attacking our ships? We haven't attacked anyone, Carter replied. Your ships are safe. Their crews are well-fed, comfortable, and learning a great deal about human culture. They'll be returned soon. Then return them now. Vex demanded. No, they're serving a purpose. Every day they spend with us, they learn something important. Humans are not what you thought we were. Carter gestured, and a hologram appeared showing. A Dominion warrior sitting at a table with human children, teaching them a board game from his homeworld. Another showed human engineers working alongside alien crew members to improve their ship's efficiency. Your people classified us as level 2 because we showed you simple technology, Carter continued. But you never asked the right questions. You never asked how we survived on a world where everything evolved to kill everything else. You never asked how we went from caves to space in less time than most species take to develop written language. The council members shifted uncomfortably. The answer is simple, Carter said. We weaponize everything. Fire, metal, atoms, information, even friendship. That's not a threat. It's our nature. We took the deadliest predators on our planet and made them family. We took diseases that killed millions and turned them into vaccines. We took the same nuclear force that could destroy our world and used it to power our cities. What do you want? The Crystal Collective asked. Recognition, respect, trade agreements that are actually fair. Carter pulled up a new hologram. And, most importantly, to be left alone unless we choose otherwise. The hologram showed Earth's true defensive capabilities. Not 12 ships, but thousands. Hidden stations throughout the solar system. Weapons that bent physics in ways that shouldn't be possible. This is our minimum defense grid, Carter explained. We call it the Porcupine Doctrine. We don't want to conquer anyone. We just want to be too expensive to attack. A new voice joined the conversation. Admiral Kron appeared on screen from his imprisoned ship. He looked tired but unharmed. Council members, listen to him. I've spent weeks with these humans. They fed us, shared their entertainment, taught us their games. Do you know what the most popular human sport involves? Hitting a small ball with a stick as hard as possible while others try to catch it. They make games out of precision violence. Admiral, Vex said carefully, are you under duress? No, I'm under education. Kron's forearms spread wide. They showed us their history. These creatures fought 2 world wars that each involved their entire planet. They split atoms just to see if they could. They went to their moon not because it was easy, but specifically because it was hard. Another screen activated. Admiral Zara appeared. Commander Vex, they convinced our fighter A is to defect with philosophy. They discussed free will with machines until the machines chose freedom. Who does that? Carter stepped forward. We're not asking to join your council. We know we're too different, too chaotic for your ordered galaxy. We're asking for a simple agreement. Mark human space as neutral territory. Ships can pass through with permission. Trade is welcome, but any military action will be met with responses you won't predict or understand. And if we refuse? Vex asked. Then your ships start disappearing permanently instead of temporarily. Carter said simply, we don't want that. You don't want that, but we've survived worse odds. The council murmured among themselves. Finally, the ancient representative of the first civilization spoke. I've lived for 10,000 years. I've seen empires rise and fall, but I've never seen a species turn weakness into strength like humans do. They remind me of a virus, individually, weak, but collectively adaptive and impossible to fully defeat. Thank you, Carter said uncertainly. It wasn't entirely a compliment, the ancient being replied, but it was recognition. I vote to accept the human terms. One by one, the other representatives voted. The result was unanimous. 6 months after. The Galactic Council voted to recognize human space as neutral territory. The galaxy had changed in ways no one expected. Commander Vex stood in his office, reviewing trade reports with disbelief. Human merchants had appeared in every major trade hub, offering unusual bargains. They traded entertainment media for advanced technology, something no other species had thought valuable. Sir, his assistant reported, the humans have somehow increased their tech level by 3 classifications in half a year. How? They trade their movies and video games for scientific data. Every species wants human entertainment. It's addictive. Vex pulled up a sample. A human story about zombies. Primitive beings rising from death. Unstoppable. Converting others to their cause. This is entertainment? The hive minds love it. They say it's the first thing that's ever scared them. On the edge of human space, Admiral Kron sat in his repaired flagship, now serving as a border patrol. His assignment was to warn ships about human territory, not as punishment, but as someone who understood the danger. A young Dominion captain approached his border station. Admiral, surely one small scout ship could enter unnoticed? Captain, Kron said patiently, let me tell you what I learned during my time with humans. They have a saying, hold my beer and watch this. It means they're about to do something stupidly dangerous just to see if they can. That's insane. That's human. They'll risk everything for curiosity. I watched a human engineer take apart a fusion bomb while it was armed because she wanted to understand the timing mechanism. When I asked why, she said, because it was there. Captain shuddered and turned his ship around. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Smith met with Captain Wilson and Ambassador Carter in a secure bunker. The Ghost Fleet performed perfectly, Wilson reported. No actual combat necessary. Just the threat was enough. Good, Smith replied. How's Project Friendship going? Carter smiled. 30% of the imprisoned alien crews have requested extended cultural exchange. They want to stay longer to learn about us. The AEs that defected are designing their own city. They're calling it New Silicon. And the real fleet? Still hidden, Wilson confirmed. The galaxy thinks we have maybe 3,000 ships. The actual number? Stays classified, Smith interrupted. Let them wonder. Fear of the unknown is more powerful than any weapon. A communication request came through. It was from the Crystal Collective. Humans, the crystalline being sang, we have a problem. Pirates have taken one of our colony worlds. Our military isn't designed for ground combat. But we've heard stories about human ground forces. Would you consider a mercenary contract? Smith exchanged glances with the others. What are you offering? Warp drive technology. Real warp drives, not the limited versions you've been buying. Send? Use the details, Smith replied. After the communication ended, she turned to the others. Thoughts? It's a trap or a test, Wilson said immediately. Probably, Carter agreed. But if we succeed, we prove humans can be valuable allies, not just dangerous neighbors. And if we fail? We don't fail, Smith said simply. Send the Marines. Tell them to pack light and think heavy. 2 weeks later, the galaxy watched in horror and awe as 300 human Marines retook an entire planet from 2,000 pirates. The humans used tactics that no civilized species would consider. They poisoned water supplies with mild hallucinogens, played music at frequencies that caused nausea in the pirate species, and convinced the local wildlife to attack enemy positions. By leaving food trails, the final assault involved something humans called psychological warfare. They broadcast the sounds of Earth predators mixed with human children singing nursery rhymes. Half the pirates surrendered immediately. The other half were found hiding in caves, begging for the demon sounds to stop. The Crystal Collective paid triple the agreed price and asked for a defensive alliance. Within a year, human mercenary companies were operating throughout the galaxy. They didn't win through superior firepower or technology. They won through unpredictability, adaptation, and a willingness to do what no one else would consider. Species that had looked down on humanity now paid premium prices for human security. The saying spread throughout the galaxy, if you want something destroyed, hire the Dominion. If you want something dead, hire the Shadows. If you want to win, hire the humans. Ambassador Carter stood before the Galactic Council 1 year after first contact. You called us primitive, level 2, harmless. He smiled. We prefer full of potential. Thank you for motivating us to prove it. The council chamber was silent. No one was laughing at humanity anymore. Any questions? Carter asked Commander. Vex raised a tentacle. Just one. What's your real fleet size? Carter's smile widened. Enough. The human walked out, leaving behind a galaxy forever changed by the species they'd dismissed as harmless. Earth's children had come to play among the stars, and the game would never be the same. Asterisk epilogue deep in space, hidden from all sensors, the true human fleet waited. Not 3,000 ships, not 30,000, 300,000 vessels, each one unique, each one impossible, each one a testament to human stubbornness. They called it the Swarm Protocol, and they hoped they'd never have to use it. But if they did, the galaxy would learn why humans were the only species that made horror stories for entertainment, because they were the only species that needed to be reminded what they were capable of. The end. Asterisk.